All right, live. Come on. All right. And it is treated.
Oh, I got that fucking song stuck in my head now. All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
In 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? It is Friday, July 24th, and you have found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. We've waited for this day for so long. We had baseball coming up. Corona took it away. It's now July 24th, and we've had a day of baseball. Aaron Judge just hit a base hit. Good for my FanDuel. So as just from that, the regular season has started. And if you're listening to this on podcast, it is Friday. The White Sox and the Cubs have their seasons kick off tonight. Very exciting stuff. I'm your host, Matt Sawaski, a.k.a. Southside Zoe, a.k.a. Father Zoe, a.k.a. Madrigal Got Robbed. With me, as always, Mr. Aldo Soto. What's up, Aldo?
I just can't wait to get to your rant. So I'm just excited and then excited about your rant about
I'm not going to do what everybody thinks I'm going to do.
Oh, wow.
Just flip out, man. It's a week. But anyways, and then we have the good Reverend K. Fizz. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? Yeah, I totally rolled out of bed today like damn Pee Wee Herman at the beginning of Pee Wee's Big Adventure. I got out of bed. I had my slippers on. They were rabbits. They went to the carrot, and then I lifted 2.5 pound weights so I don't do too much stress on the shoulders. And then I went down my little fire pole, and I was in my Cubs jersey by the time I got to the bottom. So it was a fantastic start to the day. Baseball's back, damn it.
Baseball is back. Oh man, it feels good. It really does. So we're going to talk about the rosters. Yeah, we're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about baseball. Just figured, screw it. Let's get all the way nuts and release the new playoff format for this season.
Getting weird. Love it.
And then we're going to do some over-unders for the upcoming season. So with all that being said, hey, it's opening day. Let's tap this keg. As always, this podcast is brought to you by Sports Mockery, sportsmockery.com. Make sure you go and download the application. Turn on those push notifications so you and your friends will be the first people to know anything that happens in Chicago sports, north side, south side, Bears, Blackhawks, Bulls, anything that happens in Chicago, be the first to know with the push notifications, Sports Mockery and sportsmockery.com. And also, if you remember last week, we did an ad read for Ha Ha Hot Sauce. And the Reverend Fizz is a man of his word. So if you're watching us live, you can see it. Kevin got his bottle of Ha Ha Hot Sauce.
That sound you hear is that Naga pepper just spreading around.
Not a good sound to do on a podcast, Kev.
It's true.
So it can be interpreted as a lot of different things there, bud.
Well, that's how I feel about opening day, so I guess it really does actually fit.
I just saw Howie Kendrick, and that man is very large. Wait. Anyways.
See, again, what?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm distracted. Live baseball.
That sound again.
Anyways, Hot Sauce. Make sure you go check them out.
So, Dream, are you watching? What?
Yeah, I thought this was ESPN. What kind of hotel is this? So
scrambled again? Are we going back to scrambled cable?
Ooh, so I think that's a boob. Anyways, Hot Sauce. Dave would actually appreciate that ad read. Make sure you're going to check them out. Kevin's going to put the hot sauce on chicken fingers as we're doing the show. A little bit later, he'll give you his review. We had a little sneak peek at it. It's good stuff. Hot sauce, though. Check them out. So, yeah.
Do you want to address the elephant in the room on the cognitive test, or do we want to wait?
What did you vote on in the poll? What time did you guys take?
I said over a minute, and I figured it would take a minute for you to do the.
So does that mention in the intro count?
Didn't. That's why I took the intro.
But you didn't cuss them out. So I think even money. It was a push.
Okay.
So, because you haven't yet,
I just think
so unless you have to custom out those. That's the only way the bets are
I'm
acceptable.
going to say some words here. There'll probably be some 4-letter ones.
Stanton just left the yard, by the way.
That's very good for the FanDuel.
460 feet.
Yeah. Baseball is back, and Stanton just pissed on a baseball. I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed. And I'll tell you why I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed because there is no need for this. All right. We've confirmed that it is a 1 week in Schaumburg, gets them a whole year with regards to service time. But here's the deal, man. They do this whole campaign. Every game counts. It's an awesome campaign, by the way. I forgot. I think Tony Gill made the commercials. The new White Sox commercials are fucking awesome. But every game counts. Totally agree with that. It's a 60-game sprint. Every game counts. So you have to put the best lineup on the field from day one. This is not the time to be dicking around, playing stupid fucked up service time games and sending Madrigal down because you said his timing doesn't seem right. He was one of the best hitters in summer camp. Come on. If you're going to – I know. Han can't just come out and be like, we're doing this for service time. Can't do it. It's illegal. He can't say that. He can't do it. But to use that as the excuse, are you crying from the hot sauce or are you making fun of me?
No, I just saw a video of Anthony Fauci throwing out the first pitch today.
Oh, yeah, it's hilarious. It's 50 Cent-esque. All right, so I get it. All right? I get he can't come out and say it. But to use that to say we think his timing is a little off and Lurie's timing is a little better, and then you keep Nicky fucking Delmonico up.
You need a right fielder. I mean, we can get into that too. But
Put Lurie in right field. Anyways, you have a Gold Glove caliber second baseman. I don't know. People forget. Won a Gold Glove in the minors last year for his defense at second base. One of the best hitters you have on the team in summer camp. And no, he's not hitting fucking bombs. Get the fuck over it.
wait, time out, Zoe. I'm sorry.
What?
So I put out the poll question at Pinwheels Ivy Pod on Twitter. I know it's only 6 votes so far, but I asked White Sox fans, how do you feel about Madrigal not being on the opening day roster? 100%. He'll be up next week.
Well, so that's why I'm not like a raving lunatic right now, okay? Because I get it. But the funny thing and the thing that I appreciate is most of White Sox Twitter did the whole thing where they were like, oh, so he's magically going to get his timing back by sitting in a mall in Schaumburg for a week. You know what I mean? Like everybody basically was like, you bullshit. And it's bullshit. But yeah, I just voted pissed off to even the scales on them. Oh, damn, I'm getting smoked.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Aloha, Mr. Han, who is now one of my favorite listeners of the show because he tweets me during while we're recording because he was watching. What's up, Mr. Han? But he said his timing is off, but it's just not that timing. And he's absolutely right. It's his service time bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's just what's his timing's gonna magically get better by sitting in Schaumburg fucking playing like pepper and bullshit games with guys at the minor league field. Like, come on, dude. He'll be up in a week. It's a week. I'm not mad. I just hope it doesn't hurt. I swear to Christ, though, if there's one fucking error at second base during this week, I will rain fire and brimstone down. I don't care if like 5 people see it. I will do it.
And here's the thing. Sure, is Lurie Garcia, whatever Han said, like the timing's better. They feel better with him in the lineup right now, whatever. Nick Madrigal, as much as like you can dislike what kind of like projected hitter he's going to be, minimum is like Gold Glove caliber defensively.
Yes.
Fast as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Very smart, too. Knows how to take the extra base.
You are talking about a White Sox roster that has like 5 to 6 fucking dudes who mash. It's not like you need Lurie Garcia hitting like 280 because you're desperate to have someone make the offense click. And here's the thing. You're right about when you said like, well, because the other big news of the week before the rosters came out was Nomar Mazara has the Rona, probably.
Yeah,
maybe allegedly.
Supposedly he's going to be back in a week too. as Roma.
So they needed to have. So Nicky Delmonico made the roster, and I mean, I guess the other option was you can have Garcia start games in right field.
It's not a bad right fielder.
But even if you get to that point, Rick Hahn said is, you know what, we'd rather have Chesler Cuthbert over Nick Madrigal. That's basically what this came down to, which is awful.
Again,
especially in a 60-game season, every game counts even more so than a regular 162-game season.
Yes. Did Hahn go to bed last night thinking that he had Madrigal on the roster? Locked in, or
you fucker. I'll give you that one.
You got a guy though like this that also made the best point is that you have a guy that you have a lineup that's going to rake a bunch of goons that are going to hit the ball out of the ballpark. We saw it in all these a lot of gaps too. Games. A lot of gaps too, and a lot of guys that are driving the baseball. You want those small ball kind of guys. Now I know you don't like small ball, but I don't mean like small ball. I'm talking about the guys that do the little things, the guys that take that extra bag when they see an opportunity, the guys that are in the right place at the right time because they're studying the game, and that's something that Madrigal really does well. I know King Max said it a billion times. He's big about the little. Him and I are both on the same boat when it comes to that too. Is you've got a player that has the ability to, especially at the bottom part of the order, to start something all over again, so that when that lineup turns over, you've got all your big boppers ready to rock again, and you've got a pitcher already in an uncomfortable situation, a guy that can't trust the dude on the base pass because he might take an extra bag or whatever, a guy that plays very good defense. You wonder why they made that decision, and I don't know what they saw that they didn't like.
It's service.
It might be more about keeping Lurie. I don't know. I might be keeping. I don't know, but I'll make a good point about terrible other names on the roster shouldn't have been there. But.
No, Kevin, you can't justify it.
So does that mean that Hahn thinks he envisions him as a superstar?
They wanted the extra year to wait to pay him.
He's not going to be a max player.
Get paid that much then.
That's why this whole service and all these people are tweeting at me. This is what this organization does. I know that's what this organization does, but also this organization hasn't had a potential winning team in over 10 years.
12.
So maybe they don't know what to fucking do. But I really hope I hope to God there's not one error at second base, because I will fucking flip shit. But you know what's better than a solo shot? A two-run homer. You know how you get 2-run homers? By getting dudes that do little shit and get on base.
Set the table.
And that's what Madrigal is. He's a table setter, and he's damn good at it too. And I know there's some people that are on the, whatever. That's fine. Take this moment. He didn't make the roster. It's service time bullshit. It's just I just think it's unnecessary service time games, and it's just bullshit.
Were there any celebratory tweets today for like Lurie Garcia fans? Like, hell yeah, Lurie's gonna be the star. Like, do people actually go? Like, did you see any?
If there was, I did not see him.
I mean, at the same time, let's not disrespect Lurie Garcia, who had more hits than this year.
Lurie Garcia, I will say this, and I'm not putting Lurie Garcia down at all. He's a very valuable player to have, especially in this situation, because he can play 7 positions. You need that guy on your roster this year more than any other year. Because anyone could drop in a minute. We saw Juan Soto 2 hours before the first game of the season test positive for COVID. You need a guy like Lurie Garcia that can play any position for you.
Yep. You need those details.
And before, here's the thing: who knows what the next CBA is going to say? Are they just going to have the same service time rules? And before in the past, I mean, it's not like the Cubs have done it. The White Sox, as you said, they've done it with other players too. It's nothing new. And in the past, it was basically every team you were going to see this. But we have seen in the past couple of years, you can't say anymore every team does it with all their prospects. Because we are starting to see other teams who will just, I think the Royals, one of their starting pitchers, they're going to start the season with them. And there's
the Astros got 4 or 5 prospects starting the season with them.
And there's a few other teams. So you can't fall back on that. I mean, that's just the rules. Every team does it. It's they used to, not anymore. But yeah, I mean, Chesler, that's basically what it comes down. It's not even Lurie Garcia, because Lurie Garcia was going to make the team no matter what.
Right.
It was Chesler Cuthbert over Nick Madrigal.
You got to figure in a week, Chesler or Nicky Delmonico or both, probably both.
Yeah.
If Zara comes back, go bye-bye. Adam Eaton.
I was just texting you guys. Adam Eaton just hit a bum.
Guys, what did I say? They're definitely still using the juice
balls. The juice balls are 100. Dude,
no spin rate at all.
Did you happen to see Gio Stanton's home run?
I didn't see it, but I messaged that to you guys yesterday because during the White Sox game against the Brewers, Christian Yelich hit like a pop fly, and it just kept going and going and going for a home run.
No.
Like, these balls.
The juice balls are definitely in effect. And
friend of the show, Chasen Shreve, saw that firsthand too the other night.
Yeah, and shout out Chasen
He was a
Shreve.
highlight.
Friend of the show, Chasen Shreve, made the Mets roster. So shout out. And again, come on our show. Good things happen. The other thing with the White Sox, they're going to go with the 5-man rotation. This kind of scratched some heads at this one a little bit. Looks like we got Lucas Giolito 1, obvious. Dallas Keuchel 2 looked phenomenal versus the Cubs in the scrimmage game. And I don't know if that was Keuchel looking good or the Cubs just not giving a shit. I think it's a little of both. But then number 3, you got Ray Lopez. And then
Cease.
Number 4 is Dylan Cease. And number 5 is Carlos Rodon. Rodon didn't look terrible versus the Brewers in the scrimmage game. But if you look at his pitching sequences for the first 3 innings, he threw all fastballs and 1 slider.
Okay.
So obviously he went out there and they told him, like, just let it rip. We want to see what you can hit. He was hitting mid-90s. So that was good to see. He was locating it pretty well. I'll tell you what, if you thought signing Yasmani Grandal wasn't going to immediately pay off, watch that Carlos Rodon start against the Brewers because the first 2 strikeouts he had were just beautiful pitch framing. Like 100%. And again, shout out to White Sox Twitter because as soon as it happened, my timeline got filled with everyone just saying, look at that framing, look at that framing. We haven't had a catcher that was that good at that maybe ever. So it was really awesome to watch, and it be for the team I root for.
Who was the goofball taking the victory lap today, saying that Grandal was a luxury and not necessary? Who was that?
Doesn't matter.
He's under the Voldemort status on this show. We're not going to say
he shall not be made.
And it's not just like getting a strike 3 call. Obviously, that's big because you get the out. But it's like in earlier counts where, like, if you just steal a strike, like you go 2-0. You go 2-0 and then you throw ball 3, but you frame it right. Bam! Instead of 3-0, it's 2-1 now. Yeah, no. I mean, Yasmani Grandal, best like him and Real Muto, top 2 in the game. Just that alone,
dude, it was beautiful to watch. It was absolutely beautiful. So, the other ones is Cody Hewer made the team. A lot of people are pumped about him in the pen. I actually feel pretty good about this White Sox bullpen. Jimmy Lambert, that was huge. He's coming back from an injury too. And with those 2, that's a big shout out to White Sox scouting department, as James Fox pointed out, and that was a great tweet. Those are 2 day 2 guys making the MLB roster. So kudos to the scouting department. I want to make sure we said that out. The other thing that's kind of just bugging me about this, Zach Collins.
Over your boy. You're mean.
I thought this was your mean. I thought we were all Mercedes, baby. And, I mean, if you're going to carry 3 catchers in this situation, but I guess Collins gives you that lefty bat off the bench because the White Sox don't really have a lot of lefties in this lineup.
I think it was a combination of things. That and, I mean, Zach Collins isn't the best defensive catcher either. I think he's better back there than Mercedes. And that's pretty much it.
Super utility player. You remember Mercedes? He played third base, left field, catcher. I don't know.
You just want guys to hit fucking bombs. But I mean, I get it. Fine. You trust him more in a case of like there's an emergency.
Yeah, that's true.
But
and then I don't want to be all doom and gloom because I still think this lineup just, and part of my French on this lineup fucks.
Jealous.
But the good part about the roster release for me is they finally just cut bait with Carson Fulmer. And I saw
cut wolf bait.
I saw MLB trade rumors. They just did a tweet that said White Sox cut former eighth overall pick, and I was like, that is a fucked up way to put that, but it's right. I mean, no lies detected, but as a Sox fan, I'm just glad he's not even an option anymore. You know what I mean? Like, they can't just go back to that. So
Yeah, no, like it wasn't like, oh yeah, no, he's back in Schaumburg. It's like, nope, thank you for throwing in summer camp.
Yeah,
bye.
Like later, dude. Someone's gonna pick. I don't think he'll touch waivers. I think someone will pick him up. Someone will be that high school girlfriend. I can fix him.
No, you know why? It's like the same thing. It's the same thing with every sport. All you have to say is former first round pick, and it's like, bam, all right, he must have been like good sometime. We can like do something with him. So he always has that tech. He's always gonna get an extra chance just because it's Carson Fulmer, former first round pick.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. Was there any? And again, I want to ask
you about right field.
Well, I apologize to anyone that expected me to go like absolutely apeshit about Madrigal. Again, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. I've been tweeting that all day. I think it's bullshit. In summary,
there's potential for you to really get mad though.
If he's not up in a week, no.
So if there's an error,
if there's an error too, I'm flipping shit. But if he's not up here August 1, I'm not going to be very happy. But then I did see someone whose opinion I respect greatly when it comes to things White Sox. That's Josh Nelson from Sox Machine.
Mm-hmm.
And he put out he laid out a scenario in which Nomar comes back, Mazzara comes back and takes his stake in right field. And let's say Lurie gets off to a hot start at second base.
Then you have no pressure to pull him up in the first place.
Well, no, you do, because guys, just remember, it's not about Lurie. It's about Chesler.
Yeah, it's true.
It's Chesler.
But is he going to get as much work up in Chicago as he's going to get like in Schaumburg? Or is he going to get more reps? He's going to get
doing in Schaumburg. They have
seriously,
10
dude.
players there.
I think they're playing like home run derby in Schaumburg. Like I don't know what the hell they're doing down there. Like
I'm fucking outfield playing.
I honestly think. I mean, it's not like a bad thing. I think they're just doing more instructional work. Like I don't think they're like playing games. It's just
I heard of them.
Pitchers get their games in, and then batters get BP and other live instruction from coaches.
They're not doing simulated games or anything?
I saw simulated games.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be seeing live pitching on a more regular basis than if he's just sitting in the dugout.
There's actually some decent arms in Schaumburg. Like Dane Dunning, like there's going to be some decent pitchers he's going to – but don't tell me.
How mad are you going to be if they're like, hey, you know what? You're good, Nick. You're good, Nick. Stay down there.
He shouldn't be with the team if he's not going to play every day.
Right.
I'm sorry. It sounds terrible. He's a young pup. But if he's not playing every day, he needs to go get to work in. Get to work in. Go. And then when he's ready and he is necessary, I mean, again, he's not going to not be up. We know that. I mean, God, everybody's making the playoffs this year. I think every team will. I think the Tigers might make the playoffs this year if they keep expanding this shit. It's going to be like 37 teams. They're going to call your beer league softball team to join the playoffs here in a second. But they've got spots.
I just don't think it is necessary to play the service time games with him. I don't.
Yeah. But I think this has more to do with someone else starting over him. Or at least a veteran getting their opportunity first. Just like we talked last week about Nico Horner as opposed to Kipnis. You let Kipnis get it to start because blah, blah, blah.
He was one of their best hitters in the summer camp. And again, just the defense alone should buy him a ticket. But you want to ask me about right field. So
are you worried at all? Because right now your depth is Adam Engel and Nicky Delmonico.
Fuck it. All right. And I tweeted this out, and I'm going to say it on the show verbatim. Nicky Delmonico seems like a great dude. A guy that I want to go crush a 30 rack of Busch Light with and have just a good old time. Do I want him starting right field for the Chicago White Sox? Fuck no. All right. He had a good year. What was that? 2 years ago? He had like a good month.
Like, I think 3 years ago.
Yeah, he had a good month, and everybody was all about the Nicky D train. And he even got a nickname Steaks. Everybody was all about it. Cool. And then he just stunk. And then he got hurt. And then props to him for picking himself up, working out, and making it all the way back. I just don't think he's good. Okay, I think he might be a decent bat to come in and pitch hit if need be. He's not a starting outfielder on a playoff baseball team. And then he hits. I say all this shit, and then he hits a home run against the Brewers in the last exhibition game.
That's right.
People are just see. I'm like, dude.
That's how shit works. That's how shit works. I was gonna say. I mean, I know he was injured last year, and he had like that concussion too during spring training, and then he had like the shoulder issue. So
another concussion after the Brewers game when Luis Robert Kelly leaked the shit out of him.
And he only played 21 games last year, but in 2018 he played 88 games, had like 300 plate appearances, and he slashed 215, 296, 373.
It wasn't like a sample size where he had like a bad streak. He had
an extended period of like he got exposed.
No, and I mean he would start on like the Tigers. He'd start on the Royals. He'd start on the Pirates. He'd start on another rebuilding team. It's just, I've said it ad nauseum on the show. The window is open now for the White Sox. This proverbial window that everyone loves to talk about is officially open. And Nicky Delmonico is not a starting outfielder for a playoff baseball team. Prove me wrong, Nicky. Prove me the fuck wrong. I hope you do. And then Adam Eaton puts one on Waveland in the first game against the Cubs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he hit it off of Kyle Hendricks, so it's not like he hit it off of that dude Cotton that I don't know if he's already asking paper or plastic somewhere, but
he's in South Bend.
Driving a Lyft or an Uber.
But I don't know, like, I guess if I had to pick, like, gun to my head, Adam Engel or Nicky Delmonico, I'm going to take Adam Engel just because of his speed. And he's better at defense.
He is a lot better defense. Even like yesterday, Nicky Delmonico. Nicky Delmonico isn't the smoothest outfielder.
No. I mean, seriously, Luis Robert ran from center field and caught a routine pop-up to right field. And
it should only be a week, right? Because I mean Mazara should be.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of people say Mazara is going to be, and even when Mazara's back.
You still want Angle over Mazara?
Oh, I just want a different right fielder. Like,
wants to change.
Well, I mean, there is a guy who's still a free agent.
Who's got the COVID?
No, I don't think that's a real thing. I think as soon as he's cleared, he's signing with the Braves. I think the Braves were just like, you know what, we can't sign you because of this. You want to play here, we want you to play here. As soon as you get cleared, just sign it and we'll go to work. I don't think he's.
It gives him a number too,
right?
Like to give him.
I think that's just a stupid fantasy. People need to get over it. I think,
we talked about this last week. I brought up how the Rays are doing the 2-man outfield.
You could do that with Luis Robert,
and Adam Engel, and then just have 5 infielders.
That covers it. I swear to God, those can cover it.
Luis Robert has like left and center, and then just have Engel and right.
I'm not even like being facetious. I seriously think those two can cover a major league outfield. It wouldn't be pretty. It would definitely make things harder, but Mazara is an okay defender in right. I definitely feel better with him in right than any of those other 3 options. I mean, Adam Engel's role on a playoff team again is
4th outfielder,
pitch runner, defensive replacement. No, I'm serious. Like that's his role on a playoff team.
Yeah, we talked about this back in March. It's like, Adam Engel, he started like 3 years now for the Sox, but not starting caliber.
Right. So that's his role on a playoff team. So, but right field in general just does not make me feel good. Even when this team is 100% healthy, I still don't feel good about it. We saw Mookie Betts. There was that fantasy for Sox fans for about a day that Mookie might sign with the Sox, but Mookie's locked up until I'm in my 40s, almost 50 years old. Like, yeah.
Fucking Dodgers.
Yep. But don't worry. MLB owners don't have any money.
No money.
Ooh, yikes.
During these times, is that?
Yeah. In times like these? Got him. Anything with the Cubs roster that really stuck out to you?
So the only thing, Dylan Maples, who he's been up since like 2017. He'll be up like a couple times a year for any Cubs fans not that familiar with him, it's not like he's stuck in the bullpen for a long time. He's basically a more out of control Carlos Marmol, which Carlos Marmol wasn't the most
commanding. When I hear the words Carlos Marmol, I do not think precision accuracy.
Like I remember I tweeted it out. I tweeted out in the morning when the Cubs announced the rosters. I'm like, all right, Dylan Maples gets a bullpen spot, and someone's like, all right, new version of Carlos Marmol. And it's like I wish that Dylan Maples threw as many strikes as Carlos Marmol did, because this guy, he can get hot. He has a ridiculous strikeout rate, but boy, oh boy, if you go up there and just not swing, you have like a pretty good chance of just getting hit by a pitch or walking. This guy's fucking wild. He's Ricky Vaughn before he got glasses. Great fucking stuff. Nasty slider. Cannot throw a strike to save his life.
Yeah, you got to have low patience with like control guys in this kind of shortened season too. Mm-hmm. So those types of guys are troublemakers.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, I mean, especially with the 3 batter minimum, there is no way you can bring him in when there's like 2 runners on and like no outs.
Oh, you can't trust him in that situation.
You can't do that. The only position you can trust him in is there's 2 outs and you just need 1 more out. Like you need a strikeout. There's a guy in like at second base.
Or you're down 7.
Yeah, right. Or it's a toss
eater.
Because like this guy, if you're like down by 1 run and you have him in there in a dirty inning, like in like 10 minutes, you're gonna be down by like 4, and like the bases are gonna be loaded because he just walked 3 guys or something.
No,
so that one's scary, but other than that, the roster. Oh, Daniel Descalso, the Cubs. I wrote about it. The Cubs pretty much said, we're not gonna like release you, but please go away. So they put him on the 45-day list.
It's the best part of the whole roster right
ankle.
there.
I mean, he fouled off, or something was wrong with like his ankle on
a labia injury, I think it was
on Wednesday during the last tune-up game against the Twins. But I mean, man, what a fucking bust for the Cubs top free agent of 2019.
You're on the 45-day IL in a 60-game season. That's you're deleted.
And the only other thing, they also have a third catcher with former White Sox legend Josh Phegley.
Dude, everyone in White Sox Twitter during those scrimmage games were like, "Yo, he's on the Cubs." Like it was like no one knew that. And hey, man, everybody's got that. There was that one time when he hit that 1 home run.
Oh yeah,
it's about as descriptive as I can get. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's the third catcher, so I don't even know if he's going to stick around after the 2 weeks when the rosters get cut down.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, they have some depth right now, so why not? I mean, they have 16 pitchers, so it's not like they need to make room for a 17th pitcher.
Nah, I think we're gonna like what we see with Jeffers too. I think Jeffers I liked what I saw.
He struck out Magical. That's why Magical didn't make the roster.
It's his fault. So by the way, blame him. Double J
Sorry.
Jeff Jeffers. Mm-hmm. Wasn't that old reference? Double J Jeff Jarrett. So he's Double J Jeremy Jeffers.
Double F, double S.
But he looked good. I think that you've got someone. What was it? Is it Underwood that came from the Blue Jays? Was it Underwood?
Tapera, but he
came from the Blue Jays. So Tapera didn't make it.
He didn't make it, but that's because they said that he was like a little late getting there. So he's just like he's going to be in the bullpen. Theo said like he's going to pitch big innings for us. So,
and then I don't want to dwell on it because they were exhibition games. But are you concerned after watching the Cubs' performance in those exhibition games?
No.
Okay.
Kevin?
Kevin.
There were some things that I didn't like seeing. Well, the pitch selection from Javi Baez was about as dog shit. I mean, you could pretty much throw his pitch selection and a bag of manure out into the field, and it would basically be the same. He was swinging at pitches all over the place. I didn't like that. But if he wakes, I thought the second game of the White Sox, the 2 White Sox games, I thought that he actually mailed it in game 2. I thought that he wasn't even. It was like he didn't want to be out. That was, and I was a little frustrated with that. But I think that the biggest concern I think I have is the couple base running mistakes. They were still there. These are things that can't happen. Like you can't. I don't give a shit if it's still the middle of the summer. Dear God, figure it out. Like it's not. Some of those mistakes are stupid mistakes, and I thought Again, Javi clanked the ball. So what? White Sox fans went crazy because Tim Anderson, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Okay. All right. It wasn't a slow roller in front of him. So Tim Anderson didn't get tested at all with where he's terrible. Javi made a mistake. Errors. So fucking what? And, I just, again, but the thing that I didn't like the most, the thing I didn't like most though is it was nothing to not like. It felt like these are old veteran. Again, they seem more veteran at least. They really don't give a shit about these preseason games. They're just ready to go. And I think that baseball is not a light switch. I don't think you can play the game like a light switch. And that's where my concern is that these guys are walking in thinking that they can just flip the light switch immediately when the real season starts and somehow they're going to gain some traction. It doesn't work that way with anybody. I don't care if you're Michael Jordan all the way down to the least athletic person in the world. It's not a light switch. You can't just roll the ball out there and just go. And I didn't like the mental focus. I didn't like how they seemed to have. I thought Rizzo was having fun, but that's Rizzo. He's great. But I thought that everybody was really there. I thought KB hit a couple balls hard, ended up some good shifts. I thought that Schwarber, the first game he looked a little shitty, but I think that Schwarber kind of figured it out. And obviously, seeing Rizzo back was a big part of it. That's a huge, getting him in the dugout as a whole makes a difference. Of course, he comes in, Chris goes out with a back injury or whatever. But I think they were just taking consideration with Chris and just not trying to push things. But I just didn't like the idea that it seems like they do think they can flip the light switch. And for a team that last year got exposed and admitted openly that they were not preparing themselves every game, that they weren't even loosening up before games and not taking it serious.
Not a good look.
This shit should not happen now. At this point, you better be a damn soldier when you roll in after you already admitted to not showing up last year. There's no, hey, you do that again this offseason, go fuck yourself, go away. That's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel about it. If Javi says that, if Javi does this again and then admits at the end of the season, I didn't really take it serious, you can go fuck yourself, Javi. I know he won't. But if someone does pull that shit, that's a problem. And I feel like sometimes I think veterans tend to, while they know what to expect, they also tend to think that light switch can turn on. And you can turn that light switch on in 162 games. You can't in 60. So you better roll in there like gangbusters opening day, or you're going to be down 3 to the Brewers before you even walk out of the gate.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like I said, I told you guys when we were watching the second game, I was like, the Cubs look like they give zero shits about this game. Like, I don't know. My whole thing about these exhibition games were, as a White Sox fan, they were really fun to watch because the lineup delivered. It was whatever. And we'll see what happens today when it all comes together as the White Sox. Yeah.
The only thing I thought about was right before baseball and everything got shut down in March, the Cubs scored 16 runs against the Giants, a couple of days before everything got shut down.
Right. And
I was like, oh, cool. Does that mean that they're going to have the best fucking offense when the season started? No. Yeah. There's just another spring training game. All right. Dallas Keuchel was really fucking good.
Yep.
Got a whole bunch of ground balls. It's all right.
They made Ross Detweiler look good.
Ross Detweiler is fucking. Hey man, why isn't he your opening day starter? I don't know. Yeah, no. I do get to the point where Kevin's you can't just flip that switch, and especially coming from a team where we heard for 3 straight months that they're going to be what's the fucking word. They weren't going to be complacent and, they're going to be accountable. So, yeah, kind of can't just look like shit, even if it is a practice game. But are the Cubs just going to are the Cubs going to be bad because they got one hit off Dallas Keuchel? No. The Cubs offense has been sporadic for the past 2 seasons. That's kind of the offense that they have. Now, again, we can shit on them because they said, no, it's going to be different this year. Mm-hmm. But yet again, this year is totally different. Who knows? The reason that these pitching staffs have 11 relievers, the first couple weeks, you're only get Lucas Giolito, Dallas Keuchel, Kyle Hendricks, and Yu Darvish. Those are the only guys out of 10 starting pitchers for the Cubs and Sox that I expect to go at least 5 innings. These games are going to, who knows how these games are going to be weird as hell. I think Sox, hey man, ride that energy.
That's what it is.
Ride that, or the Cubs, I don't know.
Yeah, the Sox
I'm
are.
not gonna panic because the Cubs look like shit in like 3
Old
games.
dog versus young pups. Like, I mean, White Sox aren't totally young, but it feels like old dog versus young pups. Like the Cubs are at the back half of the window, or the White Sox are the opening portion of the window. It's exciting for White Sox fans. Cubs are like, it's business as usual. It's kind of like the Braves in the 90s to me a lot, which is terrible because it's not been a decade of success for the Cubs. The Braves made the playoffs every year. And I remember when the Cubs beat them, I think 03, I think they had like 3/4 attendance because it was the first round of the playoffs or whatever. They had nobody there. They took it for granted. And Cubs fans, if you're taking this shit for granted, you have a big mistake. It's a big mistake. You have another thing coming to you if you take this for granted. It's not like that. And so I hope the Cubs don't as players, but fans as a whole too want to see this. And obviously this year you're going to see cardboard cutouts everywhere but Wrigley. But I think that the idea that you take this kind of stretch for granted, it's exciting for White Sox fans because you're about to begin what's going to be a quality stretch. But with the Cubs, is this the end of the stretch, or can they actually keep this thing out? Can they grow it out even more?
Things are going to change once. Just one last thing. Things are going to change once like the games start. Things count, and you get into the flow of wanting to see your team win, being mad when they lose, being happy when they do great things, pissed off when they play like shit. But I think right now there are a like decent chunk of fans, especially after the expanded playoffs. When now it's like 8 teams per league, where fans are like, all right, I mean, this 2020 season's kind of just whatever. I think you're going to get some of that from fans too. Especially things like sour from the beginning. It's just gonna be like, well, I mean, this season's fucking
everything's weird, dude. Everything's weird, and that's actually a good segue right there into the playoff expansion. But as you know, we're live right now. You can watch us. We always tweet out the link while we're live if you want to watch us on Thursday nights. But the Yankees and Nationals are playing the baseball as we are recording this. And I'll just tell you guys this right now. If you were wondering at home, Angel Hernandez is in midseason douche form. Holy smokes. This is the worst strike zone.
He just kicked a cardboard cutout out of the game. I don't even know if that's how.
I saw someone tweet out, I'm happy to see Angel Hernandez is practicing social distancing with his strike zone. Because this is the most ridiculous thing. Oh, that's a boy, Aaron Judge. Keep getting those RBIs, baby. Papa Zoe's going to win some money, baby. So, yeah, sorry. I just had to get that out there because Angel Hernandez is garbage. Kevin, real quick, give me like a 30-second review of Ha Ha Hot Sauce.
All right, so I'm going to cake it on so we know it's legit. All right, this is it's Yates, right? Yates Comedy, at Yates Comedy. This is the Ha Ha Hot Sauce. All right, so I bought last week. We talked about it. I got a little guilted on Twitter after I posted a nice post about it. And he's like, oh, did you order? I'm like, oh, shit. So I ordered. He got them here by Monday. So they've been sitting on my counter. I'm ready to go. So here it is. It is, let me read the ingredients so you know that I'm not just like some little bitch. Orange, pear, apple cider vinegar, onion, olive oil, sea salt, tomatoes, and the main ingredients is a Carolina Reaper pepper. If you don't know anything about a Carolina Reaper pepper, it's one of the hottest peppers.
It's a how.
It's a how. So here we go. Let's rock it. I got it on my lips too, which is a great idea.
Yeah, it's always smart.
Take a shot at
home run by the Yankees.
No, it's a replay.
Oh, it's a replay.
Don't distract from the heat in your mouth right now.
Oh, I'm gonna probably have to. But I'm gonna take another bite.
Put more on, Kevin. There you go. Just douse it in the sauce.
Yeah, none of that one bite shit.
Hear that sound?
Yep. Hopefully
I said to leave a little piece dry so I could grab it.
Put it up. Put it up to the camera. Let's see how much you put on.
Yeah, put it up to the camera. Let's see. Oh, that thing's dripping. Oh, it's dripping, folks. For those
Kevin, here's the money bite.
Take a bite. Oh, he took it all down,
there
folks.
You go.
Oh, what a champ. You're going to make some guy happy someday.
Oh, big bite.
That was a gigantic chicken finger.
Shout out Raising Cans.
Yeah. If you want to we'll take that all.
Feel free to send in number 2.
It's actually really good.
So what we got on heat? Where we at heat? 1 through 10.
I'd say heat-wise, I'd say give it 8.
Oh shit.
Maybe like a 7.5. But I don't know. I get my Thai food 10. So, but I really like the orange and pear. The orange pear taste to it actually makes it like a really good like an actual sauce, like something you can put on a burrito. Like It's got a good, like it's got a little sweet. It's the sweet, and then the heat comes, so it's good.
I'm a big
and it's consistent too. So it still burns.
Okay,
but it's perfect. I would say it's actually a very good hot sauce for those of you that enjoy pretty good. I mean, it's not like insanity sauce where like it literally gets on your tonsils and you're fucked.
I'm not even gonna try to be a tough guy. I don't fucks with that.
But
yeah.
It's actually really. I'm happy they're a sponsor. It's a good purchase. I'm actually gonna buy some more probably for my buddy H.
Give him a follow on Twitter. Order some hot sauce. It passed the on-show live test. So let's real quick before we get into over-unders, let's talk playoffs. Because, like I said, Major League Baseball basically right before the season is about to start, Major League Baseball just said, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts." And they expanded the playoffs, so it's the 3 division winners, and I got confused.
So each team or each league gets 8 playoff teams.
Okay, so the 3 division winners and 5 other teams.
Well, see, here's the thing. No. It's for each division, automatically top 2 you get in.
Oh, first and second.
So it's like you have 2 division winners, and then for each division, and then 2 more wildcard teams.
And then what's the deal with picking who you play?
So there's a thing where I don't know if that's official yet. Buster only tweeted that out early on Thursday, where basically the 1, 2, and 3 seeds get to pick who they play in the first round.
Now, see, I thought at first, I was like, that's horrible. But then after talking to you and Kevin about it, it is going to be awesome because that's going to build even more intense rivalries. It's going to be fantastic shit talking. If, like, let's say the White Sox win the Central and they're like, oh, yeah, give me them. They fucking suck. We want to play them in the first round. That's awesome. That's good material right there. And also the first round is now going to be best of 3.
Best of 3.
Which makes it even more intense. And now I've seen some people make the argument, which is there's truth behind it, that this takes away from the impact on the regular season games. Letting all these guys in, it doesn't make these regular season games as important. But counterpoint is now more teams think they got a shot at making the playoffs, so the trade deadline is going to be lit.
Maybe. I guess.
You want to talk about bulletin board material.
Yeah.
You suck. We're going to beat you. We choose you. You're the worst.
That's the picking teams. I'm talking about now more teams. I mean, you're going to have to completely strategize differently because more teams now think they got a shot at this.
It's true.
And so
they said MLB Network today actually did a thing where they had like who would make it like last year based on this setup or whatever. I want to say it was the Rangers were the 8. And they were like 8 games under 500 or 7 games under 500 last year. So technically, under this system, a team that doesn't even have a 500 record might potentially make the postseason, which would be probably a first in Major League history.
My favorite uncle, Beef Loaf, he tweeted out a very harsh truth that I think, if not to the White Sox, it's going to happen to someone. Where if the White Sox won the Central, and then let's say the Angels or the Rangers are the 8th team, and the White Sox are like, give me the Rangers. And then they lose the first 2 games to the Rangers. You know what I mean? Like, it's because, that's like you said, it's bulletin board material. And it's
what's going to be funny? We're talking about like the bulletin board material. It's going to be funny to see teams just try to avoid the bulletin board material, even though deep down they're like, like this is like the crappiest team. Of course, want to play the 28 and 32 whoever.
Right.
They're going to choose like Canadians and be like, sorry.
I just want to hear those statements after if this is a thing where they have to pick and they're like, well, I mean, there's a team and we just picked them out of a hat. It was random.
Right. Oh, there's going to be a lot of politicking. There's going to be a lot of his timing was off. There's going to be a lot of all that bullshit. But
no, what's going to be the line? I already know it. We just felt that we matched up better against them.
That's to a T, all that. To a T. But it's baseball. It's sports in general, man. Anything can happen. That's why we play the games. So if a 1 seed picks an 8 seed and it's a best of 3, that's not a cakewalk because you're going to get their 2 best starters out of the gate. And pretty much every team minus like the Tigers and a couple other teams have 2 pretty decent starters on their team.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's the thing. It doesn't matter, especially in a short series, and we've seen it in wild card situations like the wild card games. If you just have like your ace there or your top 2 guys, you even things out a lot more. Doesn't matter how bad the rest of your roster is, because you can just have your guy go out there, shut out the other team, and you win 2-0.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be great that night. Your one guy just has to be great.
And for the record, Kevin just held up the hot sauce bottle. He literally put half a bottle on that chicken finger. So he was not. That's why the runny nose is going right now.
Oh, yeah, we heard that.
Right there.
I'm still eating.
I think. Oh, wow, Garrett Cole. That was a dirty curveball. I think, you know what? With everything that's happened this year, the way the season's being played, seriously, fuck it. Let's see how it goes. Why not?
Yeah.
It's crazy. People are already complaining, oh, this year's going to have an asterisk. I don't give a shit. They can let every team in the playoffs. If the White Sox win the World Series, I'm going batshit crazy. I don't care what's the scenario, what's the whatever. It still all doesn't make a difference to me. And I get, like most things, I'm a pretty reasonable guy. I like to see both sides of the arguments in all things in life. And I get the people, the baseball traditionalists, people that think that this is going to devalue things. But after reading that theory, I think, again, that was James Fox, I think this is going to make the trading deadline fucking awesome because so many teams are going to be like, we could be that 8th team. So I'm going to go out and try to get that. You know what I mean? So, and it's also going to be, if you're a team that you have no shot at being that 8th team, Tigers, you're going to be more than willing to be like, well, I want that first pick. You know, I'm going to put Casey Mize up on the block. You know what I mean? Like,
there is a scenario where I see where, because you may have more teams that go for it, that compared to before, like let's say a team was like 500 come like a week before the trade deadline. Like normally in that situation, they'd be like, you know what? Like there's no point to go for it.
Right. I don't know.
But in that case, like what if it's like a team who's just trying, somebody, I think it was also James, who brought up like it could be a seller's market in that case.
Right.
Where like you can have expiring contracts where like teams are just trying to like shed payroll and like, all right, we'll take a couple prospects. In this case, if you have teams who think they can make a run for it,
mm-hmm.
maybe they don't want to sell off like that one veteran who's like making still like $4 million in this shortened season.
We need to do some homework. We need to see who has expiring contracts on shitty teams that would be a good rental.
Mm-hmm.
That's something we need to look into.
Well, here's my question to you, Aldo. Oh,
yeah.
Do you think that, like, again, because obviously it has to come up because Kaplan's going to rub it raw, and Morosi today threw the hammer out there by literally insinuating that he's going to create a rumor mill about Chris Bryant trades. Do you think that, again, because what he said was, I think he said, if the Cubs start slowly, I'm going to start cranking my trade rumor mill and say Chris Bryant and the Padres will be a good fit. If you're not going to win now, you have to start thinking about the future. Well, when you have this many teams making the playoffs, how much does that affect that idea of the Cubs possibly? Like, are the Cubs going to be like, we're really not that good, but we're going to make the playoffs, so let's trade Chris Bryant anyway, or let's trade Blake and Blake.
In this
is that going to happen in this scenario?
In this scenario, if the Cubs don't think they're going to be one of those 8 teams, they might as well fucking blow it up.
No, see, here's the thing, because no matter what, the best case for the Cubs' future is to re-sign Chris Bryant to a long-term extension.
Absolutely.
So I still can't get behind that. And at the same time, going back to like caring or not caring or wondering what this season is, that like I'm hesitant to say like, oh yeah, like who cares if the Cubs are good or bad this year? Obviously, you want them to be good, and you especially don't want them to get bad, because then what if they are like, well, shit, this roster's a fucking dud. Let's start to. And it's not even like during this trade deadline. It's just like the off season.
Yeah.
What if they're like, hey, Tom Ricketts is like, hey guys, we lost $100 million. Wink, wink. Shut some more payroll. We can't spend anybody. Trade Chris Bryant. We're not going to extend anyone. So I don't want that to happen.
Right. No,
I think more so it's a case of the offseason because I just don't see any like star player moving. Like, what is a team? Like, how do you know that a young prospect is good right now with no minor league season? You can't really scout guy. Like, you're going off 1 year reports.
Right. What are they going to do?
You can't see their progress.
Yeah.
Are they going to
quantifiable?
Andrew Vaughn's progression off a simulated game in Schaumburg? Yeah. Like, I get what you're saying 100%. And some more news with the playoffs, with the new format, higher seeds they get all 3 games as home games in the first round.
In the first round.
That's a pretty solid advantage. But I mean, it's not like you get what do you got, home crowd advantage?
Right.
Your cardboard cutout's going to be louder than the other guys.
We have the best DJ in the booth.
And I know
give you your crowd noise,
like dimensions and the bumps and all that.
Here's another factor, though. COVID.
I stand corrected, guys. Sorry, my apologies. It's the Carolina Reaper, not the Naga Viper. I apologize. Carolina Reaper. I don't know why I said Naga Viper.
With COVID, you limit your travel. What if, like, first round of playoffs, it's White Sox, I don't know, Rangers, and the Rangers have to travel, and on that flight, Joey Gallo tests positive. He's out. So there you go, home field advantage. You don't have to travel for that one round.
That's true.
I mean, I don't know. I like that idea. They're just trying to get the most money, which I mean, great because the players should. By the way, the players got everything they wanted, pretty much that the owners denied in that final offer from the players, and so fuck the owners again for not wanting to play more games.
So let's get into the over-unders, but before we get into the over-unders, we're going to take a quick break here for a word from Anchor.
All right, so.
Okay, I was just trying to entertain our live viewers.
I can't believe I said Naga Viper. It's the Carolina Reaper, which is the hottest pepper. I didn't realize that.
I think you did say Carolina Reaper, but anyways.
Did I say Reaper? Okay.
All right. So we do this all the time now. This is our third season we're going into? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're going to do some over-unders going into the season. We tweeted out a couple of the polls to see fans' response from them, but we're going to do it here. That way it's recorded and people can make fun of us. And it's a 60-game season, so it'll be easier to come back to find. But hopefully we all don't take chalk. Kevin's all hyped up on haha, so maybe he'll make some weird responses. But Aldo, as always, be the grandmaster here. Lay it on us.
Here we go. So we just go win totals first?
Yep.
Oh, by the way, so the White Sox are at 31.5. I saw this tweet earlier in the day on Thursday that there's some sports book, or I think it's casino, I think it was whatever it was. Every bet on the Sox win total was over 31.5, which I am not a good gambler.
I don't think any of us are. We wouldn't be doing this show if we were.
Because my first instinct when I saw the number 2 was like, oh, that's an easy over. That offense is gonna fucking smash. But what do people always say? You gotta bet against the public.
Yeah.
A lot of money is going on the Sox over. So I mean, you have to go under, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the public, like when I bet football games, I watch the line all week and you can see where the public money goes, and then like an hour before kickoff,
I just still bet that.
Well, house money comes in, like the smart, educated gamblers, and then you'll see the line move, and then I try to go with them, but obviously I stay with a 2-bedroom house. But yeah, so I'm actually with the public on this one. I'm going to take over. I think White Sox pitching especially is going to outperform expectations. I'm a still big believer. I really think Ray Lopez has a good season. I think Dylan Cease has his I've arrived season.
Dylan Cease is completely under the radar in summer camp.
Yeah. like I mentioned earlier, and I'll probably say it again 100 times during this season, this lineup fucks. So I think it's going to mash the ball. I will be betting a lot of White Sox overs during the season.
You gotta do that shirt. This lineup fucks.
That's not a bad idea. But yeah, I'm taking the over on win total. Sorry, we should make these not long-winded answers. Over for the White Sox.
3 for 3, over.
Over.
All right.
But I'm thinking around 30 to 32.
It's 31 and a half.
So that's right. You guys are 31 and a half. So I'd say 32 to 34. I think would be my guess. So it's around. I'm hovering.
I'm right there with you.
And now the Cubs, 32 and a half.
62. What? Oh, sorry. Never mind. I was thinking of something else. The secret of life. Yeah, I think the Cubs are going to go about 34 to 36 as well. I think that's pretty good. It really depends on the bullpen.
I'm actually going to take the under for the Cubs.
I mean, we talked about it before too. I think I can go under on that, and like the Cubs can still win the division.
At least make the playoffs in this new format.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say before they expanded the playoffs on Thursday, I was gonna say like the Cubs could end up with less wins, than the White Sox, but they can make the playoffs and the White Sox wouldn't. But I mean, under the new expansion, everyone's gonna fucking make it. Yep. But yeah, Cubs. It's like I'm gonna go over, but I'm not 100% sure.
I'm taking the under, and it's mainly for lineup depth, injuries, and bullpen. So I'm taking the under.
Oh yeah, oh my god, Craig Kimbrell makes me not.
Craig Kimbrell, with his beard cut like mine, short, he looked like a combination of Scott Weiland and like I don't know. He just looks weird, dude.
All right, here we go. And I was looking at the Cubs player over under numbers. And this is one of the two that, like, if I could bet a whole bunch of money, I would, but I'm not because I'm not that ballsy. Craig Kimbrell saves over under 14 and a half. I would say under.
Under. Big.
You know, the other thing with that is, like the first 2 weeks, month, who knows how long it is going to be. The Cubs have already said they're not going to use Craig Kimbrell or like some of their other relievers on back-to-back games. So, I mean, that cuts down save opportunities right off the bat.
How do you spell Schaumburg? Sorry, that was random. Don't answer that. Keep going.
Over under 14 and a half saves.
Under. Absolutely under. I'm not entirely sure Kimbrell's going to end up as the closer by the time the season's over if he keeps throwing like he has.
My reasoning exactly, Kevin.
I think that the way the Jefferson look has been.
I think this is a good number for Colomé. Saves 10 and a half. And I think it's a good number because even though I think the Sox are going to win a lot of games, I think they're going to blow a lot of teams out.
That's what I was just going to say. So I'm actually going to say under because I don't even think he's going to get that many save opportunities.
Right. Kevin?
I'd say over.
Over, all right.
I actually don't think I think it's going to be tighter than you think. I think when you start getting everybody's top guys, I don't think that the White Sox are going to be as explosive as one might assume based on just some of these early returns. So I think but I still think that he's going to get him. I think he's going to get plenty of opportunities in 2-3 run games. 3-run games are just as big a saves as 1-run games.
Also, I'd like to point out with the new closing rules, the relief pitching rules, I think Aaron Bummer is going to get some saves. If he's going into a ninth inning where it's lefty to start the inning, I think Bummer's going to go in and get that save.
All right, let's go.
It's also from MLB The Show because he was my closer for my World Series run. So go Aaron Bummer.
Let's go with some home runs over under. So out of both teams, Eloy has the highest over under for home runs at 13 and a half.
Over.
Kevin?
Over.
Oh man, I mean Eloy had like 31 like year and was hurt like 3 different times. So
hottest player in baseball in September.
So I'm gonna go over with Eloy.
Just to get that grand slam off Yu Darvish. I don't know if you guys saw that.
That was a pretty good hit.
I don't know what you're talking about, Zoe.
Kyle Schwarber has the highest over under on the Cubs for home runs at 12 and a half. He also had a great not only September but also August and July.
Yeah. He's swinging the ball pretty well. You know what? Let's just go over because it's juiced ass baseballs.
That and there's a DH now, so even if he's not inserting in left, he's going to be the DH.
A lot of juicy balls, and he's DH.
We are not going to use that out of context ever.
No. Never. So I'll go over.
A little sexual on the show tonight. I'm gonna go over. I think Schwarber is one of those guys. I mean, he actually got better over the course of the 3 game exhibition games against opponents, like actual opponents. He looked terrible in the first game, and then he looked like he was getting much better swings in game 2 against the Sox and then against the Twins. So I think he can do it. I think he's one of those guys that could hit he could have a good week and hit 6 homers.
And even when he's been like bad, like hitting wise, average wise, he's always had the power swing. So even if he struggles, he can like hit 2 home runs in a couple games and contribute that way. Luis Robert home runs 9.5. Over under.
I'm probably gonna get torched for this, but under.
Kevin, do you think he struggles early?
Under. I think he's gonna hit like 7 or 8, maybe.
I don't think he struggles. I just don't think he hits home. I think he's gonna see a lot of doubles, a lot of base hits, but when it comes to the long ball, and I mean, god damn, is his swing so effortless?
We'll predict 1 inside the park home run though.
Oh, that's ballsy. I'm gonna go under though. I'll go under for that.
Oh man, I just want to go over on all these numbers, but
I still think he wins Rookie of the Year.
It's just hard though for like a rookie like that to go out and have power numbers. It really is difficult because you're seeing something that's completely different on those wrists and those small fibers that where you're trying to drive a baseball. He's just trying to survive.
And
I think
as great as he is, I think there's still going to be a period of time. Who knows how long it lasts, but I think there will be a short stretch where he struggles. I don't know if it's going to be like can't get a hit struggles, but it's like Eloy went through it last year. Like rookies go through that struggle.
So we saw it in his first at bat against Kyle Hendricks. 3 pitches, absolutely buckled. Twitter erupted. Oh, kid's got so much to learn, and then he went 2 for 2 in his next 2 at bats. But still, we saw. I mean, he's not a created player on MLB The Show. You know what I mean? The kid's still going to have to learn. The kid's still. It still seems like sliders low and away, kind of like Eloy last year, are going to give him a little bit of trouble. Again, Hendricks completely fucking buckled him. I mean, there's still going to be somewhat of a learning curve. And to be honest with you, I don't want him going up there trying to hit home runs. I want him learning, getting the best approach he can at the plate and driving ball into the opposite gap. With his speed, him being on base, that's a fucking problem. That's a huge problem for the other team. So
Wilson's behind the pitch. What?
Yeah. Sorry. I'll take that one. I want base hits and doubles from him. If he goes up to the plate with that mindset, I think he's going to have a fantastic. I would put money on him being Rookie of the Year. I know he has terrible odds, but I would.
No, he's the favorite.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Terrible
value. Yeah.
So you made a really good point too. Is that you can't simulate this, and so he's got to take his lumps. It has to be expected. If he doesn't take his lumps, you're seeing something that's extraordinary in any time. Mike Trout took his lumps, for God's sakes. Everybody takes lumps. Now his lumps were smaller; they're more like pimples, maybe even like a blister, but. All the you have to take your lumps. You're going to go you want to go 3 steps forward, 1 step back, 3 steps forwards. So you want him to learn but not blow up, and then you want him to continue to make that progress. And I think guys like him have the ability to kind of survive already and keep their head above water, but you have to expect it. And that's why, like Aldo said, he might have like a bad week, but a bad week in a 60-game season, you're off. You're not going to. You're already behind on your pace to hit.
Real quick, really quick, because I don't want to get off topic here. But for the love of God, stop comparing Luis Robert to Mike Trout. I've seen Willie Mays. Stop that. Mookie. Just stop. Just let him be Luis Robert. He's going to be good. That's cool. But don't put that on this kid. And I know one of them was Eloy. Eloy's the one that said he's going to be the next Mike Trout. Like, I get it. Eloy's a big goofball, and he's happy. He's just messing around. He thinks he's supporting. But, like, you can't put that on this kid, man. The media took that quote and ran with it. Like, you got to chill, bro. So, anyway, sorry. Go with the over-unders and stop comparing him to Willie fucking Mays.
Too late. If he's not Mike Trout, he's a bum. Okay, so back to the Cubs. Wilson Contreras, also his over-under, 9.5 home runs. I tweeted this out on Wednesday. Smash the over.
Well, he's swinging it. My goodness.
Uh-oh. It's okay. You can say under.
No, I'm going to go over.
Okay.
I like his
like on these hot streaks where he like just hits 6 in a week.
Exactly, and I like his swing. Looked really good. He hit who did he hit a bomb against Minnesota, right?
I hit 2
against Minnesota.
Yeah, he hit 2 against Minnesota. And again, he's 100% the definition of a streaky player. And if he's starting the season hot, I mean, yeah, I'm going over it with him.
Here's the kicker I thought was really interesting. Of the odds, the book odds, Javi obviously had the highest odd or the best odds of winning the MVP, blah, blah, blah. Chris was second. Rizzo. Wilson wasn't even on that list. He was like, well, he was, but he was, I think, was below even Schwarber. And I think about this, and the guy's swinging it really well. He's been seeing the ball all camp. Whatever he's been doing, he shouldn't change. Like you said, Zoe, hot, streaky guys. You have a Sammy Sosa June in August. That's 20 home runs right there. It can be done. Now, is he going to hit 20 home runs? No. But I think that if Contreras keeps doing what he's doing, I think that this pace, this kind of thing, we shouldn't be shocked if he plays like this, if people start mentioning him in the conversation for MVP. We haven't played a game yet. But what we've seen so far, he's ready to go.
Well, I'll tell you
ready
now,
to go right now matters. Everything matters.
Out of the gate, Aaron Judge is your front runner for MVP. But keep going, Aldo.
Oh, no, and here's the thing on the MVP talk with Contreras was like kind of getting in the conversation in 2017. He was carrying the Cubs offense before he got hurt. So back to the Sox, let's go with Yo-Yo. Over under, his is a little lower, 8.5 for home runs.
I take the over on that. I think it was set low because of the COVID and all that other stuff. But his swing is just so pure and so sweet, and he's on top of his game. Yeah, I'm going to take the over on that. I think 10 is a good number for him.
I think it's kind of middle.
Agreed.
I'm kind of like I almost would say push. What was the number again? It was 10?
8.5.
8? Oh, 8.5. So we go they gave halvesies. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, I'll go over. I think maybe 9 or 10.
I'll go under. I think there will be a time where Yo-Yo has that hamstring tightens up again and he misses some games.
He is very sensitive.
Let's go back to the Cubs. Third base, Chris Bryant. Home runs over under 11.5.
Under.
Kevin.
60 bats or 60 games, so he'll probably play about 54, 55 of them.
Remember, leading off this year, so he gets that extra at bat every game.
Yep, he's going to get a little bit more looks. He's going to have somebody behind him. Obviously, he's still protected, but he's not going to have to deal with coming up there with 2 outs and nobody on either, unless, of course, the 8-9 don't get it done. 11.5 seems, I don't know. That's hard. I feel like he's going to hit like 10 or 11. Obviously, I got to believe in my boy, so we're gonna go over, but it's going to be barely over. It might be 12. Like
I'm gonna say under, but I don't even think with Chris Bryant that's a bad thing. Like Chris Bryant doesn't need to hit. He doesn't need to be like a 40 home run hitter in a regular season to be valuable. Because
how many doubles, how many walks?
Right, just get on base, and that's his job now as a leadoff hitter. So I'm gonna go under, but like not. Oh, what a disaster season with Chris Bryant. Yasmani Grandal also at 9.5.
Damn, these are good, man.
Right there. Seems like these guys know what they're doing.
That's so weird. Like they don't want people to make money.
If Zoe and Aldo bet the over, they probably will shift the number down a half a point, and then I'll take the over after you guys, move the line a little bit with your bets.
I was going to take the over either way. I think he's swinging a good bet. He put a couple out during summer camp. He looks like he's on his shit. God, the Sox lineup is just so stacked. All right, I'm gonna.
I can easily say over for all the Sox.
Right, I'm gonna go over. Everyone's protected too. You can't pitch around anyone. There's no lull. This is the first time in 10 years the White Sox, after the first 4 batters, you can't just get up and go take a piss, go out and have a smoke, because you actually want to see like everyone in this lineup. You know what I mean?
The way it's constructed, like after your 4, it's still like Grandal, Eloy, and then Robert. You guys are stacked. I'm gonna go under though and say 9. He goes 9.
I say under 2. He's on there. He hit 24 home runs last year with the Dodgers, obviously in 140 games. He's hit 28, I think, with the Brewers in 2019. So with the Brewers last year, sorry, hit 28 last year, hit 20 in 2018, hit 24 for the Dodgers. I don't think that he's gonna I don't think he's going to be consistent. He's going to be a back control guy. He's going to move runners over. He's going to drive in runs. I don't think that his job is to hit the long ball. So I don't think he's going to.
Yeah, no, you've convinced me. I'm changing my bet to under because I'm on the same page. He's not here to hit home runs. He's here to get on base. He's here to bring down that horrible walk rate that lineup has. He's a patient hitter. He's got one of the best eyes in baseball. I'm going to go under.
I thought this one was low, but at the same time, he is also very streaky. Javier Baez home runs 10.5.
I would take over on that because he
I
can.
would too.
He can easily have a hot month. He swings for the fence every pitch.
Yeah.
There's no short. There's no light. There's no shortening up.
He comes out of his shoes every swing. I'm taking over all day on that.
Yeah, he could have 10 by the end of August. Yeah.
He's one of those guys could
and disappear.
And I was gonna say with his career stats in in August and in September are horrible. His career stats at the beginning of the season are fantastic. So if we get beginning of the season, Javi in August, absolutely over. If we get end of the season, August, September, Javi, we're still gonna get the over. He'll just hit 250. So you gotta go over on that one. He's an easy over. I think that one's actually really low. I think 12. What was it?
10.5. Yeah.
I think 12.5 would be a fair.
Let's do a couple more home runs, and then we can do pitching. Let's see, Tim Anderson 7.5, and then they have his batting average. I think we said it's similar to this 282.
I would take over on the batting average and under on the home runs.
This was for
Tim Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
And it was over for average.
I took over on 282. I think he still hits around 300.
Yeah, he'll hover at the 300.
I am going to go over on the average and under on the home runs as well.
Yep. Dude, he arguably was the best White Sox hitter in summer camp and during these exhibition games. We saw him in that leadoff spot come out against the Cubs and take beautiful pitches opposite field to get on base. He stretched a single, and it was great because he was mic'd up, and you heard him right out of the box go, "I'm going to get 2." And he stretched that into a double. Like, I think he's hitting 300. Yeah, I'm taking the over on average. And he's another guy. I don't want him hitting for power.
And, Anderson, too, even if he makes a lot of contact, and he's fast as hell, so he can, get out, squeak out a couple more hits and raise that average.
And he's probably going to be batting leadoff, so
gets that extra at bat, yeah.
Well, with Madrigal figuring out his fucking timing, you need some guys to set the table, so.
Let's see. I thought this one was also an easy over just because historically he's one of the best strikeout pitchers in the game. Yu Darvish over under strikeouts 90.5.
Well, I got to do some math in my head.
14 starts.
Is it first inning you or second inning you? Because that's a big difference.
I think I saw from the second through the fifth inning that Yu Darvish is all right.
Dude, he's got 8 pitches. Hitters are completely guessing. But in that first inning against the White Sox, he was just fucking up.
I know that was just first half last year, where he didn't have control. Yeah, and then he had to come across the middle with the fastball and got torched.
For the Cubs' sake, for your two sake, I'm going to take over because they need him to be a very good starter for them this year.
All right, so I am going to do a little bit of a.
Kevin, did you do the math?
Well, I was just kidding.
I'm going to go over.
He averages 7.5 strikeouts per start. He's going to probably get 12, 14 starts.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think if he's healthy, at least 12. Yeah.
If he's healthy for at least 12 starts, I think he's going to get. I think he's going to come in at about 90, 91, 92 maybe. If he's fully healthy and gets 14, he'll blow that out of the water. He might even hit triple digits, but he's got to be healthy. And even if he's bad, he still gets strikeouts. It's like right now, Scherzer, he's kind of getting lit, but he's got 9 strikeouts in 5 innings.
Yep.
You still can get lit, still get Ks. It's just a lot of pitches, and he wears down, and then that taxes the bullpen because you got lit and you wasted pitches with strikeouts, which are obviously pitch
counters. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but the Cubs bullpen doesn't look great right now. So you need you to be going deep into some of these games.
I would predict that the Cubs bullpen ends up with a lower ERA than the Sox. That is.
I will take that. I would take that bet.
We have a
tattoo bet.
The Cubs aren't going to have Gerald Cotton pitching everything.
I know, but
the Cubs bullpen has a lot of good young arms that nobody knows about.
As we're recording this, Gio Stanton is up with 2 outs and bases loaded and base hit. That's not cool.
That was a nice. That ball was good, 6 inches off the dish too. Way to go with that.
Angel would have called that a strike. He is way too good on Twitter. He's actually trending right now.
I think Angel Hernandez now, because of a couple of umpires who opted out. I think he's the crew chief now, or what the fuck is it called? Yeah, crew chief.
Dude, he's trending right now for how terrible he's doing.
So here's an example, guys.
That's how you know baseball's back, and umpires fucking turning because he's trash.
We talk about little things equaling big things, and you guys are seeing a base hit that scores a run with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 5th. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at a 2-out base hit to right that should have scored a man from second, but what is the guy from second looking at? He's watching to see if the baseball drops.
Yep.
What are you looking at?
Who was it?
31. I don't know who that is. Who's number 31 on the Yankees? Legitimately, when they show the replay, he's looking to see if the ball drops. There's 2 outs, meat. Get on your horse and get the fuck home. Sorry, that's the little things that equal big things.
Absolutely. You are one. I'm not even going to bother to try to argue with you because you are 100% on. I don't know why he was looking at the ball.
Aaron Hicks, terrible base runner.
Yep, it was Hicks.
So on the Sox side, I thought this was low. For Giolito strikeouts, 68.5.
I would take the over on that.
I thought that was really low.
He got a lot more strikeouts. He gets a lot more strikeouts with that changeup now.
Mm-hmm.
We saw his fastball was again in mid-90s, which looked really good. His control looked really good. I know I've been saying this entire offseason that we're probably going to see the mean, not like angry mean, like the average, the middle version of Giolito, not the shitty Gio from 2 years ago and not the lights out from last year. I think we're going to actually see but if he can keep it going, I mean, a lot of stuff with Lucas Giolito is mental, as we all know. And from his interviews, just about everything, off the field stuff, team chemistry, to what he's doing on the field, he seems like the most focused, level-headed that I've ever seen him. And I think he's going to be an all-star this year, even though they're not going to have an all-star, but he's going to be an all-star quality type starter, and I think would take the over in that strikeout.
We know starting pitching wins, losses don't mean much, but for these purposes, Kyle Hendricks win total 5, over under
14 start. I'll take the over.
Kevin
14 start.
And I think that's an easy over, especially at this time, because you don't know about the Cubs bullpen. He's going to go deeper in games. I hope that David Ross trusts him to go deeper in games compared to Joe Madden. And then Dallas Keuchel, I think a lot of the win totals for pitchers are like around 5, 5.5. So Keuchel's at 5 as well.
Bro, I was already pumped for Dallas Keuchel, but after watching him pitch that game against the Cubs, I am stoked for Dallas Keuchel.
He looked good, man. When he has the ground ball pit, when he has his breaking stuff working, he's just automatic up there.
He's one of those guys that are consistent. Like we talked about it even in the offseason when they landed him. He's a veteran too. And did you notice how he worked? That's what I think we talked about a little bit when we were watching the game together too. He works with purpose. He gets on the bump. He gets the ball. He gets right back up there. He delivers another pitch. He doesn't wait. He doesn't dilly-dally. He's not Steve Traxel in the human rain delay. He gets up there and he gets going. And if you're on
Mark Burley, dude.
If you're on the bump and you're on defense, if you're someone that you love to play behind a guy like that because you're not bored, you're not sitting there just napping. Guys that take too long, guys that, I coached a kid last year, I swear to God, or 2 summers ago. He didn't get a single out. His first out came 17 minutes into an inning. Now, he only faced 7 batters in that time span. We were timing him. He was 47 seconds between pitches. Now, that's absurd. That's obviously not major league quality, but our defense all of a sudden started kicking the ball around. We tried to figure out why. Of course it is. It's because he's hypnotizing them. Opposite, Dallas Keuchel, man. He gets up there. He says, let's go. I'm going to feed you the baseball. I'm going to share you the baseball. I'm going to make guys miss, get them on their front foot. A lot of infield ground balls, a lot of weak fly balls. He doesn't give up a lot of square barrels. And so I loved watching him work because you love to see, especially for younger pitchers to watch, you love to see guys that work with purpose. So many young pitchers get out on the bump and they are listening and watching to see what their catcher calls, who's going to be calling pitches through their coach. They're not out there just going, give me the damn ball, let's go. They're looking around. They're a little bit aloof. And when you see some of those younger ball players take light and see this, and they're like, oh my God, look, if I just sped up my my whole routine. I'm going to get better defense behind me, but I'm probably going to get in a better rhythm. Make the hitter change the timing. Make the hitter step out. Don't be the guy that's like, milking it out. Your defense doesn't want that. And a guy like Keuchel is a perfect example. I loved watching him work the other night. I think he's going to be not only just a good pitcher for the White Sox, I think he's going to, especially guys like Dylan Cease who struggle with those types of things like command, he's going to make them better, more refined ball players just by being a leader and being like a kind of a mentor to them.
All right, Aldo, we're coming up at an hour and a half here, so hit us with one more.
Last couple ones. Darvish, 5.5 wins.
Over.
Yeah.
I was going to say under, but there's no way there's 2 years in a row where the most stupid shit happens during his starts. So fingers crossed for over. Let's do one more hitting for the Sox.
Mm-hmm.
We forgot about Edwin Encarnacion. 12.5 home runs. This is a guy who's hit at least
that equals 30 in a regular season.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over again just because of the ballpark, because of the protection around him. And he beasted a couple balls in summer camp. I'm going to go over.
Kevin, 12.5.
And I expect him to hit a home run every time he comes up.
For Eloy?
No, for Edwin.
Oh, Edwin. Oh, God, you want the parrot. Oh, God. Yeah, he's going to go over.
Dude.
He's gonna eat against like some teams like the Tigers. I think those guys are gonna help.
Yeah, you got to remember these White Sox too are going to be. Look at the Royals, the Indians, and the Tigers. Look at their 3, 4, and 5 starters.
Like
and
a
if you
third
say you know who those guys are.
The Tigers and Royals.
You don't know who those guys are. You don't know the 3, 4, and 5 pitchers for the Royals, the Tigers, and even the Indians. For Christ's sake,
I am going to. I think this is the easiest under on the board. Jason Hayward, 6.5 home runs. Under. I know he had a better season last year, but he's still going to be platooning this year, I think, and he's just not a home run hitter. Oh, and then John Lester, 7.5 strikeouts. Under, because I don't know how many innings he's going to be pitching.
Yep.
Did anybody put together an over/under on sack bunts now with universal DH?
No,
because
no one cares.
No one. That crossed no one's mind.
I think even if we had 162 games with the universal DH, you'll see the lowest amount of sack bunts in like the history of baseball.
There's been one bunt in this Yankees Nationals game, and Castro botched it, so it worked.
There you go. So better than a strikeout.
Better than a strikeout. All right, everyone. So happy opening day. We made it. We all
wait. We have to do with just our overall general predictions for the Cubs and Sox. So,
yeah.
Sox record, playoffs, how far do they go? When does Nick Madrigal not get called up? Anything you got?
Madrigal will be up in a week. Sox win 34 games. It's good enough for the division. So obviously they make the playoffs. I think if they make it to the AL Championship Series and lose to the Yankees.
All right, who do you got out of the National League? You don't have to go every division, but just who do you think?
I know. It's so hard to not say Dodgers.
Right. Yeah.
It really, I mean, that's basically an all-star team. I mean, yeah, they lost Clayton Kershaw, but they gained May.
Just replace him with a lively arm.
Yep. So, I mean, I know it's chalk. I know it's whatever, but Dodgers-Yankees World Series.
Kevin, what do you got for the Cubs? And then anything you got on players, record, and then how
Nico Horner, Rookie of the Year.
All right.
Only because unless Derek May gets called up and stays up, I think Derek May probably will win it. But I think that with what's his name going out, I think that Horner becomes one of the, because you're not going to get a lot of rookies cutting their teeth this year. At least pretty good. I mean, at this point, maybe some of the crappier franchises, I guess. But with such a shortened season, I don't think you're going to see many. And I think he's going to get a lot more at bats than people realize. I think he's going to start tomorrow. Obviously, we haven't seen a lineup yet, but they let him sit Wednesday to give Kipnis a little bit. But I was always under the impression that they were going to give Kipnis the nod just as a veteran tip of the cap. But I think that there's been a lot of push through the Cubs front office. And I think you see a little bit of PR moving too, kind of pumping up Horner a little bit, like for some like actual Cubs.com content, which means they're kind of on that, potentially on that campaign for Rookie of the Year where they're going to continually, when franchises have someone that might be it, they kind of put out stories here and there that are going to build up. And there's a really nice story that came out yesterday about Nico I think that he could be. I think he's one of the top 3 or 4 guys possibly for Rookie of the Year, and I think that's going to be the shocker. Is he's going to come out and he's going to really do well, and he'll get Rookie of the Year, and people are like, "Oh my god!" Maybe. And I think the Cubs will.
Then how long?
World Series. We got a Red Line World Series. Cubs, White Sox. I'm going with it. I don't care.
All right. Wait, who wins it?
Shit.
Come on.
Wait till next year, Sox.
All right, Aldo, what's yours?
Kyle Hendricks, Cy Young. Cubs go 35 and what is it? 25.
Mm-hmm.
Lose in the NLCS to the Braves.
Oh, plot twist. All right.
Braves, Rays World Series. Get those ratings, baby.
Jeez, the 20 people that watch that are going to be juiced. So we made it, all of us together. We have baseball. I'm watching regular season baseball right now. It's on the monitor. And it's awesome. Really proud of what this show did to get us to this point. We made it through some tough times, as a lot of other content creators did. And something else I want to do, and I'm going to tweet it out, and I know this is the end of an hour-and-a-half long show, so I'm not sure how many people are going to hear this, but
if you are, thanks for sticking along.
We appreciate that. And I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to wear what I was going to wear to the White Sox home opener. And I'm going to take a picture of it because, one, Mrs. Zoe got me a dope-ass throwback jersey that I have not even taken the tags off yet. So I'm going to be wearing that, and I'm going to be wearing my Pinwheels and Ivy sunglasses that I was going to be handing out to people at the White Sox home opener. And big homie that I told I was going to mail them to you, I'm still going to do it. I just keep forgetting. That's on me. But yeah, rock your gear, get excited. It's a shitty, crazy world out there right now. It's cool to just take a couple hours, watch some baseball, relax. I know that's going to be damn near impossible, but give it a shot.
Oh yeah, because I mean, after like the first inning, we're going to be just
right,
whatever it is, good or bad.
Yep. So for the Reverend K Fids, Aldo, I'm Zoe. Everyone be good to each other, and happy opening day, everybody.
Woo!
One strike away from the first official game, officially, even if it rains.
Mm-hmm.